simply
He's vanished, Your Honor.
instruct the jury.
The box ghost has claimed him.
And not include that second paragraph. I had previously advised the jury with another paragraph that
This is so eerily similar to that case I've told you guys about multiple times, and I keep forgetting who it was, but it was a man who had killed his girlfriend, and I believe it was the boy, his son, testified against him, giving the details, and he's like, no, you guys are all wrong. I did kill her, but not where you said I killed her. So if you're going to tell the story, you're going to tell it right in front of the whole court. That shit was wild. I can't remember who that was. Was that Ronnie O'Neill? That name looks very familiar. Thanks, Resub, Toad, and Jacobs. Yep, that was another person who represented himself. Somehow, the people that represent themselves are the dumbest people of all time. That's weird, right? That's weird how that works. I even just voice cracked that, how strange that was. You would think if you're representing yourself, you're like a super intellectual being. But I mean, I don't know. Not a great track record. So weird. Thanks to the bitch ship. So what was the other one? The closing statements? Actually, I came this far. I want to see how it ends.
paragraph.
Does he come back from the box fort?
To move the boxes away from his face. I need to be able to see him. He can keep them on the table, but they need to be moved off to the side. And if he does it one more time, then I will instruct the bailiffs to take the boxes away. Those materials.
Take the boxes away. Those are his toys.
Related to jury instructions, he should take those out now. Otherwise, they need to be moved away from the microphones and away from blocking his face.
I'm not putting them here. I'm not putting them here. Thank you. I'm putting them here for a reason.
Thanks, Resub.
Mr. Brooks, do you have any position on the verbiage of jury instructions 70 on page 65?
Hey, Socks.
Ask me no question. Are you my accuser?
What?
Are you my accuser, Your Honor?
All right, he's choosing not to answer, so I'll mute him again. It's unfortunate that he's deciding not to participate in this. I agree with the state. I don't need to highlight that second paragraph.
What is the protocol for this? I'm very curious. Everyone I've seen represent themselves, at the very least, tries to play ball. Like the guy who openly admits to murdering his girlfriend and correcting the people on where he murdered her. But this guy just straight up doesn't do anything. He just builds box forts. So at this point, is it just like a field day? You could just give them like everything all at once since he's not defending himself? Thanks to the gift sub, Sweetan. The judges usually like to be lenient in these cases to prevent grounds for appeals. Well, that's what I was saying, right? Because they're doing everything they can to avoid a mistrial motion, right? Because, I mean, this is a very serious case. This guy is an absolute fucking monster. This guy is evil. This is the guy that ran through that Christmas parade, killed 6 people, injured 60. This is a man by no means should be let off easy under any circumstances. So they're doing everything they can to tiptoe around here to make sure there is absolutely no wiggle room for mistrial accusations. So I get that. So any question she asks, she can answer for him if he refuses, and doing it all herself means there's even less chance of an appeal. Interesting. No, this guy's not trying for insanity. People keep saying that. He's just that dumb. It seems like the only play he's trying to make is making the judge mad for like maybe a mistrial. It's not like an insanity plea or anything.
I will include in the paragraph that reads, at times, comma, Mr. Brooks
Is it
has
give some
appeared
against
from another
Sweet
courtroom,
Tan?
period, this must not influence your verdict in any manner.
Can we get an extra box out here, please? All right, fine. We'll do a couple more clips from him. I've only seen a few. I haven't seen him do the examinations. Please do the clips of him with his own witness. Okay. What? Which one? This one? The XGF one? Which one? Both of these sound like they could be fucking wild. All right, we'll do this one first.
Thank you, sir. I don't have any other questions.
All right, sir. Mr. Brooks, do you have any questions for this witness?
Yes, I do, and I object to being called that name for the record.
What?
Do you recall giving a
What?
statement to an officer?
Someone fill me in on the lore. What does he want to be called? He's claiming his name isn't Darrell Brooks. Oh my god, how did I miss all of this shit? I've only seen some of the clips. I had no clue. What? He thinks it's a loophole. We've seen this before on Court Cam. There was a guy, I don't remember what he's there for. It might have been a DUI, but I'm just spitballing what it was. But his whole thing was, that wasn't me. That person that you're accusing of doing that is not me. That's not me. And then they asked what his name was, and he's like, it's not that. That was his whole defense. Is he trying that in this situation? That's wild. What the fuck? Okay, I missed that one. All right. Thanks to Prime Tristan and the resub Nick and the gift sub Sonia.
Officer Probst.
I don't know his name, but I've talked to an officer.
And you did talk to an officer that night?
I talked to an officer on the phone. I did not talk to an officer that night. I mean, on the phone I did, but not in person.
Okay, interesting.
So it was a conversation on the non-emergency line. Would that be fair to say?
It was on the non-emergency line. I actually confirmed it after I called to make sure I was on the non-emergency line.
Do you recall the description that you gave at that time?
I do. Well, my best of my knowledge was that you were either black, Latino,
Who's you?
or mixed.
Who's you?
Hold on, you have to let him answer the question first before you interrupt him with another one. Go ahead with the description you provided that night.
I said that the individual was either black, mixed, or Latino.
So it would be fair to say you didn't know at the time?
I was giving a general description.
So it would be fair to say that you weren't sure?
I was positive it was you.
Who is you?
You. I'm looking at you.
I'll make note of that.
And how did you come to that conclusion? The
sure?
you conclusion.
I'm looking at you.
How did you come to that conclusion? Did you?
What conclusion? Can you restate the question?
You're saying that you gave a description.
All right, fine. Chat keeps pointing it out. I will also bring attention to it. This man's hairline is fucked up. It looks like the bat signal. Fine. We can get it out of the way now. All right? And now let's move on. We get it. He's got a fucking awful hairline.
On the non-emergency phone line, correct?
It was on a non-emergency line.
So it would be fair to say at that time you had no name or knowledge of who the person was in your backyard. Would that be fair to say?
I had no idea who you were.
And so how can you say how can you say you then if you had no idea?
I'm looking at you. You were the guy.
And how did you come to that conclusion?
You and I were standing in the same yard looking at each other.
So is it possible you saw something on the news?
No, I had no idea who you were.
What?
Interesting.
I'll make note.
Do you recall giving a description of approximately 5'9" and 160 pounds?
Yeah, something like that.
I think you said cream and Bob and
Something
green
like that,
Nintendo
or would that be
toaster
accurate?
and Toad.
I didn't have a tape measure out. It was just a guesstimate.
Would it be fair to say that since you keep identifying me as you, would it be fair to say that I'm not 5'9" nor 160 pounds?
You have your shoes on or off right now?
Would it be fair to say that I'm not 5'9", 160 pounds?
If you take your shoes off and step out of them, they could have a better.
I'm not going to have them do that, but if you're able to answer the question, do you agree?
I'd
or
have to be
disagree?
standing next to him. That's what I made my judgment from. We were about 2 feet from each other.
Does it look like I'm 5'9"?
I don't know. We were a lot closer.
Does it look like I'm 160 pounds?
I can't tell either. He could very well be 5'9". I have no fucking clue.
As to his appearance today, just like his hair isn't in dreadlocks today.
Sustain.
Objection.
Question.
Grounds for the sustain.
All right. Okay, then. Let me see this one.
So, at this point, there's no telling what witnesses will be here tomorrow, right?
Well, based on the groupings that you gave to the state, it sounds like we got through only one from each
Right.
kind of category. So we'll go back to the first would have been Thursday
Yeah,
morning.
he's defending
You can call
himself.
The rest of Thursday morning. Was there 2 left of that?
Yes, correct.
So,
And so let's do Thursday morning and Thursday afternoon. The people you designated, I'm going to direct the state to have here tomorrow morning. That's 4 witnesses, whatever order of those 4.
5. It's 5, but yes.
5?
We'll have them here, based on your original list.
And then, how many does that leave? Because I'm not
that's what I'm trying to
doing
figure out.
good with math this
4.
late in the day. 4, so 4 in the afternoon then. So our hope is to get through all your witnesses
I can't say this
tomorrow.
for the record. One witness I intend to call tomorrow is not going to be 35 minutes.
Fair enough. Do you plan to call that person in the morning or the afternoon?
I'll call him right now.
I'm leaning towards the afternoon. That could change depending on the flow of the morning, I would guess.
1 o'clock
Let me
tomorrow
skip
afternoon.
around.
So we
Thank
need to be
you.
mindful of people's schedules.
Thank you. We'll have everyone else here at
That's
8:30.
interesting because what if that was not who I was referring to?
Then you need to tell me right now so I can make an alteration to that.
Come on, Judge.
Sir, we're at the end of the 3rd week of trial.
So
I
can
need
we at
to
least
keep
be
this
fair?
moving
Can we at
along.
least be fair and say that's not due to me though?
That would not be fair to say.
How?
It's
How? The state said that they needed 5 to 7 business days to present their case. Did they or did they not say that on the record?
and there's.
So how
It doesn't
did
matter how we got there at this point.
I don't
I'm
even know
trying- my job
where
is
we're at.
to get all the
Should've been
witnesses
chopped.
done.
So does he get his ex-girlfriend
So,
here?
I'm directing the state to have Miss Patterson come tomorrow afternoon.
If that's
And the
what I was
other
referring to, which
witnesses?
I wasn't, but everybody think they know what I'm thinking.
Then you need to tell them if it's someone else, and if you want her here in the morning.
I'll
then
say
that-
this. Everybody that was here today that didn't get called, have them here tomorrow. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people.
And you need to tell me. who
Look
you
up the
want in
stare down.
morning,
Well, that's
not
the
by the order,
that's
who
the
you
clip
want for the
I
afternoon.
know the best.